हाय एवरीवन, हाउ आर यू डूइंग? अस्सलाम वालेकुम, कैसे हैं आप लोग? आज लिन मुझसे बात कर रही थी और कहने लगी कि आपको रेहान को ट्रेनिंग शुरू करानी चाहिए। रेहान क्या ट्रेनिंग करा सकते हैं एंड व्हाट कैन ही टीच? आई वांट टू आस्क लिन एंड यू एंड व्हाट डू यू थिंक कैन रेहान टीच to you, or what is something what you want to learn from Rehan, because everything Rehan already knows has already been posted on YouTube. Now what should be the program which you want to learn? So let's see your opinion on what you think I have to offer to you or to anybody else, and more importantly, what is the dollar value on it that you can put on it, and what is it that you're willing to pay for it. So if the sun is doing its work, nobody's paying for it, and it keeps doing so. I'll keep on doing what I'm doing, but the question here is, what does it mean to get professionally trained? Because it has costs involved, it has time involved, and let's hear from you guys. And what is it worth to anybody? So tell me, I'm listening, I'm here, Lynn is here, anybody else who is here, what do you think you want to learn from me? Yes, Lynn,
Hello.
how's it going?
So I heard you with a little bit. I didn't hear this first presence, but Rehan, you have so much to give the world as far as like Facebook Live training. So I think everyone, John Maxwell's teams, Bob Proctor's teams, Tony Robbins' teams, they all need to learn Rehan Allahwala's team. Because your training is about humanness in this technological age. And if we don't go with the technological age right now, as you said yesterday, we're in this process of, it's great to meet, but we're meeting people from all over the world. And it's so much easier, like you said. I remember our first discussions around people having free phones and being able to get on Facebook without a lot of income. This is how you touch so many people. How do you build the program for your program so people can really start distributing to lower income people as well as wealthy people, and really develop it in a way that people have an opportunity? Yeah, this is my thinking after I watched you. I know you want to help, and I know you want to help others, but your program, your understanding of how people are in the world is just such a very important piece. So now to create your own magazine, to create your own presence of how you want to do this, then we help you, I think Carla and I and Rael and Amy are all backing you as far as, how to support you to build friendships online. And we're working at it daily, right?
Thank you for the idea. It's a good idea. I was talking to one gentleman earlier, and he was very depressed and he was very annoyed on another earlier call. I messaged him and he was very depressed that I can't find a job, I don't have blah, blah, blah. And then he talked for 15 minutes live with someone. All of a sudden he changed. He's like, oh my God, I'm feeling so amazing, blah,
That's
blah,
it
blah.
right there. That's it.
And then I talked with Carlos. I introduced another guy to Carlos and said, Carlos, can you talk to the guy but do Facebook Live? 2 days later, he messaged me today. I talked to the guy and I said, where's the video? I want to see it. And he's like, I didn't record it. I said, what do you mean you didn't record it? I told you to go Facebook Live. He said, I've never done Facebook Live. I'm like, what does that even mean? You haven't done Facebook Live?
I was the first one with Carlos. I was the first one with Carlos.
Actually, he did one with me also before
Right.
this.
You were probably the first one,
like,
but I mean, he was the first one trying it with me. And so I said,
but he knows how to do it. So
yeah.
Why don't you guys, Kashish and you, and can get involved and write a paper or on a one-pager? Sure. What is it that the program should look like? How long should it be? What points do you want me to cover? to me, why is very important, and without the why, I don't do anything. A lot of people skip the why and just go to the action. I think it's very shallow, and you cannot really get deep. And most people don't want to go to the why because they have been raised not to look for the why. In the schools, you're not supposed to ask the why. You're supposed to just do it because you're able to do it. So most people are not looking for the why. For me, why is extremely important. So I wouldn't give any time to anyone unless there is a good why for me. And I will be happy to give my time. But the thing is, why?
Okay.
And if there is a one pager you can come up with, put a fair price value on it, I'll be happy to teach.
Great. Let's do it. Let's do it. I just watched your relationship, and I know, as we build this, it's good to get feedback from other people on consistency and where people really want to learn from, and the why for me is like, do people really want to build friendships online? And I think everybody's trying to do it, but they're building, like I said to you, from this professional, how am I going to make money out of it? I think that has to be let go. I think it's not about making money. It's about building a deeper heart connection with the humanity. And then out of that, if you do what you love, right? You do what you love, then you find it. I think Pravin is also really, he should be involved because I think he has it. I think he has a really strong relationship with that. That's what his book is about, Sure.
If you can come up, what I was saying was, if you can write up a pager with him, and one of the first thing which I want to open up to the audience or to the people who want to learn is, why do you want to learn this? What will it do for you? And that's what I'm talking about. So not my why or not your why, but why. Okay, imagine people want to learn. There are 2 billion people on the planet who are not using Facebook Live. I would be happy to teach them, not to just teach them Facebook Live, but how can they take it into, or take just Facebook in general into a very different way. I've been teaching this for forever, since Facebook started. And so I have the experience of it. Basically, you can find YouTube videos by me, how to use social media for social change. I have created that many times. So that's something I was already taught for the day, for 2 days, for 3 days. But its time has changed. People are now on Facebook. Initially, I was trying to get them there. Still, majority is not there, but still a lot of them are here. 2 billion are here. 1 billion are active, probably. If I can teach 1 million people, that will be huge already. So I'll be happy to teach.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I just think, I know you need to go. I need to go, but this is it. I think it should be the Rehan. I love what I just opening to love. I just came up with that term, opening to love, because I think you have opened us to love. You've opened us online to know that we can build love from Facebook Live,
Maybe you can say how to make love online, then people will be more interested.
No, that'll be dangerous. Everybody will be coming to marry me again. You don't know how many people have come to try to marry me online now, just because I'm online.
Make a filter and give them a list of things. Go and do this, and then I'll marry you. Very
simple.
There
you go.
My daughter, when start bringing her online, she's 13, and she started getting marriage proposals. So I made a list for her. Okay, let's go through, the things which you want in your husband. So let's make a list. Okay, first of all, he has to own a house. How much does a house cost? A house in Karachi with 4 bedrooms is $1 million. So you have $1 million.
Good.
You have to have a car. You have to have such and such kind of mindset. Hey, if you found the right person, why wouldn't you marry?
Exactly.
So make up a list of things. As soon as you get a marriage proposal or an indecent thing, we just send, hey, I would like to marry you. Here's my filter. Go ahead and do this.
This is it. This is what you bring to Facebook Live. The real conversation. Rehan's real conversation. Yeah. The real conversation.
if we need to learn to live, I think we don't. Nobody's teaching us how to live, and
No, school doesn't teach. Nobody teaches.
it's
I don't. Businesses don't
it's
teach. Nobody teaches. No, I agree.
so. How do you deal with marriage proposal? Here you go. Here's my filter. If
Yeah.
you, I don't know if you remember the older stories were like this, where the king will say, anybody who does those three things, I will marry my daughter to him.
No,
Here you go. You can be that king and say, hey, if anybody does these three things or 10 things, I'll be
I
happy to
like
marry
it.
you.
I
What's
like it. You're my marriage man now.
so
I want to be your
make a
daughter
list.
with your list.
Your- Make a list of things which you want in a
Yeah.
man and cut and copy and paste them every time you have a marriage proposal. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Well, these are the things I need in my
Yeah.
life. If you can't do that, bye. If you can do that, I'll be happy. Let's talk. Let's
Maybe
have a
this
date.
is the
Take me
way
out.
to do Facebook Live, like certain topics, like Rehan's idea of, and what's your idea? What is your idea? What is your why to be able to meet somebody online? What is your why to meet somebody in business? What is your why to, you know what I mean? Are you just lonely? Do you want to meet online? I gave after one of our, after probably about the 15th man in Pakistan that asked me to marry him, I said, I did a Facebook Live on loneliness. I said,
You're not lonely. Majority of the men who are writing to you for marriage are apparently looking either for a visa to the
yes,
US or they're looking for a second
uh,
wife. So it's either or and that's what normally they're looking for. But on the brighter side, I have seen many older women coming and moving to Pakistan after getting married. What's wrong? I mean, nobody in this country, majority of the women in this country, after a certain age, cannot get married. It's just very hard. Whereas in our part of the world, it's still common, it's still more common to marry in an older
uh-huh.
age. As a second wife or a third wife, it's, as long as you're getting the time, what's the big deal? Um, it's a mental state you have to move from to, very simple. If he's your ideal guy and he's performing all these things which you need in a life partner. Imagine dating, for example, in the US. So if you're dating someone in the US, you have to have a particular criteria. He's ethically correct, he's not liar, he can take me out to dinner, he's lovely to talk to, he can make me laugh, all those things which you have in your
Yeah.
mind. And if he is married already, what's the big deal?
So,
You people here it
so this
also.
is the funny part. So Facebook Live, I got on with Rehan. So everyone knows, I get on with Rehan and we talk about him being the master of Facebook Live and being the trainer. And now we're talking about marriage. In 5 minutes, we're talking, he took my conversation and brought it
Your
into
con-
love. Because I mentioned
the
one
convers-
thing, and I just want to put that out there that this is the gift of Facebook Live. This is the gift.
I, I think you have questions. So people who actually have questions or things which you talk about, you are a very good conversational teacher. You should actually do coaching on communicating. I asked you this yesterday also on how to actually talk to
Thank you.
strangers. It's a very important subject and people don't know how to do it. So my topic was I work with, I'm no longer a person who wants to work alone. I am no longer in a place uncomfortable enough to stand up and change
Yes.
myself. And I pray to God and I pray to the creator, please don't put me in that position again. I beg you. I don't want to be in that position where I have to go out and change myself extremely, with the pain which is required sometime for us to change. I was talking to somebody, and it was a woman, and she said that one of the reason mothers love their children so much is because they remember the pain it was to produce them, to give birth. And she was saying that parents should give birth every year, so that they remember the pain it was to give birth.
In native,
And
in native tradition, they do this specifically. Men go to the sweat lodge in the Native American tradition. specifically for this reason. They go back once a month to go into the sweat lodge to feel the pain. So they go into the womb to be able to open themselves back up into a different realm. Yeah, this is very traditional in my tradition. Yeah.
I don't know what's a sweat lodge.
We have to take you to the sweat lodge someday.
What's a
sweat lodge is a place where you go into a dark, they build it's like a hut. Google it. It's a hut. And you go into the lodge and you pray with your brothers. It's a very dark, it's like the womb of the mother. And you go in and you pray. Yeah, you go in and you pray. And you get very hot, almost to the extreme, like you feel like you're going to faint because it takes you out of your own consciousness. And you pray with your brothers and sisters throughout the process. You do song together. I don't like mixed sweats. I like men doing sweats with men and women doing sweats with women. That's my tradition. But many people do mixed sweats. I don't agree. I don't agree with this. But my tradition only does one or the other. But yeah, I think this is a really ancient practice. Same with going in the wilderness for a man. You know, so men need a different type. But I hear you. Yeah.
Coming back to the original topic, if you want some kind of training done by me, you, Praveen, and whoever wants to produce that document, you're more than welcome. I need something like a, chief operating officer who can kick my ass and keep me on the schedule.
Okay, let's
go. One girl who is phenomenal at it. I don't know if she's watching.
Give me her name. Pravin and I will help write up something for you, but I think Pravin will be willing. He's on here right now. So I'm asking Pravin, will you be willing to do this? Maybe Carla will be willing to, and really get you on board with this training. How do you do Facebook Lives? How do you be real with Facebook Lives? I'll be the trainer of communication. Okay. Okay.
Sure. Her name is Ziani Kersania. You can find her on Facebook. You can message her. She was my assistant in the past, and she's a lovely girl.
Excellent.
And she keeps me on schedule very, very
Excellent.
well. But any you're more than welcome. I will be happy to train and share whatever I know. I don't have a problem with that. Thank you so much. I have to go now.
Bye.
Bye.